And welcome to Calihan Hall for the finale, the fifth game of 5 games here today in the MAC CHSL Calihan Challenge. Welcome to Calihan Hall. My name is Chad Bush. Glad to be with you on the prep. Scott Bernstein to join me here shortly. So 4 games are in the books here in Calihan Hall in the 5th annual CHSL MAC Calihan Challenge. And this arena has seen 4 games, all won by the Catholic League. De La Salle 85, East Point 36 in the opener. Brother Rice 63, Lakeshore 46. Detroit Catholic Central 76. Port Huron Northern 37 in game 3. And in the game we just saw, UAD Jesuit 67 and Macomb Dakota 37, which takes us to this game here against Grosse Pointe South. And one of the top players in the area, Anthony Bernard, a 6-foot junior, against Orchard Lake St. Mary's, our number 1 team in the prep top 11, led by Kareem Rozier and Javon Hanna. And we'll get a starting look at the starting lineup first for Grosse Pointe South. They'll start with Anthony Bernard at the guard spot, their top scorer. He's coming off a 36-point performance in their loss to Loyola the other night. Carter Richards is a sophomore guard at 6'1". Tyler Bryan, a 5'9" senior, rounds out the 3-guard lineup. Donovan Moody, a forward at 6'1", undersized. Alex English, the big man, 6'7", junior. And that is for Steve Bernard, the head coach for Grosse Pointe South. And Grosse Pointe South, look, this is a team that obviously Anthony Bernard, a lot of folks know about, 6-foot guard. We'll get more into them later as we look at the starters for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
I like the fact that they got an NBA Hall of Famer starting in the middle, Alex English. Played for the Denver. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
He didn't. If my broadcast partner didn't catch it,
I did.
I'm
Alex
sure
English.
that the people at home didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Alex English was an NBA basketball player back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a youngster and you don't understand the reference.
No, I do. It was a good one. It got past me. It was a very good one. We'll meet the starters for Orchard Lake St. Mary's now as well. They will start 2 freshmen at the guard spot. Sherrod Barnes, actually, one of the guards. He's a freshman. Kareem Rozier is a senior. He's the leader that commit to Duquesne. Jack Crichton is committed to Michigan for baseball, but he's a fine, super skilled 3-and-D guy and so much more. Javon Hanna is a Mr. Basketball candidate for Todd Covert and company. Covert at his 7th year, and Trey McKinney, the other freshman, 1 of 2 in the starting lineup for St. Mary's. And led by Todd Covert and Len Karshi, the associate head coach.
There's no clear front runner for Mr. Basketball this year with Ty Rogers leaving the state. And, Javon Hanna could very well be, at the front of that pack when you put into context the type of numbers that he puts up.
Sure could. We'll talk more about that later as we pause for the national anthem. Game 5 about to get underway. Can the Catholic League get a clean sweep? We'll see what St. Mary's has to say about it. We're back in a moment, right after this.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
so that interscholastic athletes may thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stands should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decision.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game!
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Welcome back to Calihan Hall. We've already introduced the starters for tonight in this MAC battle. MAC Red.
So this is going to be the third straight season that Orchard Lake St. Mary's is ranked nationally, a front runner to win a state championship, and has a Mr. Basketball candidate in the lineup. Started 3 years ago with Lauren Bowman, who's at Wisconsin right now. Last year it was Julian Roper, who's at Northwestern.
Right.
And this year it's Javon Hanna, the high-scoring wing guard, signed to Western Michigan. But don't let that MAC scholarship fool you. This is a kid that had a lot of power conference schools after him, and a lot of schools from down south decided to stay local. And frankly, it's a steal for the Broncos.
Sure
Javon
is.
Hanna, 25 points a night as a freshman and as a sophomore at Mount Clemens. Went to the prep school. Went on the prep school route last year to Yipsy Prep, played with Amani Bates, and is now back in the MHSAA for his senior year. And Julian Roper last year was hurt in the Mr. Basketball race by the fact that he was so unselfish. He wasn't necessarily a natural scorer. He wasn't a guy that was going to score 30 in a blink of an eye. So the stats didn't grab you. I think Javon Hanna this year is going to have some stat lines that say, okay, this guy could be the best senior in the state.
For sure. St. Mary's 35-2 the last two campaigns, plus their season opening win over Sterling Heights Stevenson back on Tuesday night. We covered that here on the Prep. 67-24, they dominated over another MAC Red team, Sterling Heights Stevenson. Javon Hanna to jump it up.
Leading scorer in that game was the Fab Frosh, Trey McKinney. The hype is real, folks.
Yes, sir.
The next great basketball player to come out of this state is standing right in front of us. Trey McKinney, 6'4", freshman guard, half dozen Big Ten offers already.
Yep. He's the real deal.
He's special.
Tied with his freshman teammate Sherrod Barnes for high-scoring honors back on Tuesday night. We're set to go. The Eaglets in black with the basketball right to left against a 1-2-2 zone for Grosse Pointe South.
Wearing some black uniforms. I haven't seen these before.
Barnes to his freshman teammate Trey McKinney, freshman to freshman, and it's 2-0 just like that with a Tim Duncan funnel banker. 2-0 Eaglets.
Sherrod Barnes has a couple Division I offers as well as a ninth grade nasty.
I love it. Donovan Moody topside. He was a late addition to the starting lineup last night. Pull up right wing three, and that's down. Anthony Bernard,
natural scorer.
Woo, can rise and fill it. His dad is the head coach. Steve Bernard, one of three head coaches from the MAC in this game. Javon Hanna for the answer, no. And here comes South up by 1, 3-2. These two teams played in baseball last year at Grosse Pointe South in a tournament.
Nobody was beating St. Mary's in baseball last year.
No, you talk about national champions.
Yeah.
There's never been a national champion in the state of Michigan. And nobody wants to talk about it. But St. Mary's won a national championship for the first time in state history.
Why don't people want to talk about it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that was one of the best baseball teams
It
I've
hasn't
ever
been
seen.
publicized or noted that that's the only team in the state of Michigan to ever win a national title in any sport. I haven't seen it stated. Far sideline out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Grosse Pointe South. No, they got their love, and I'm not trying to say, oh, they got disrespected. But I just think the fact that it was a national championship in this state, certainly something to talk about.
I'll tell you, people, when they think about St. Mary's, they think about football. But right now, it's all basketball and it's all baseball.
That's right. Football will get a new leader shortly.
Yep. GP retired after 30 years.
I want to say you wrote a beautiful piece on George Porritt. I want to thank you on behalf of Orchard Lake St. Mary's. That was a really nice piece that you wrote, and classy piece.
I enjoyed
Good
writing
piece
it.
of writing.
Yeah.
Good job. Well done.
I'm proud to call a lot of these coaching legends friends, not just people that I've covered.
Yep.
It's one of the best part of the job.
Far sideline, Javon Hanna for three. Missed it. St. Mary's down by 1. Grosse Pointe South on the run. This is Carter Richards, a sophomore guard, and he's fouled. Grosse Pointe South lost to another Catholic League member not in the Central Division earlier back on Thursday, as we see this foul on Jack Crichton, or Sherrod Barnes rather. Detroit Loyola taking care of this South team. That's a statement too. Detroit Loyola's in the intercollegiate.
Yeah, the lower level.
The lower level of the Catholic League. I forget what they call it, the Cardinal Division. And they win that game against a Class A school in Grosse Pointe South. Pretty impressive. 5-2, Grosse Pointe South on top by 3.
Kareem Rozier, the best pure point guard in the state of Michigan.
Trey McKinney, left elbow, rattler through. Pick your poison. The zone left McKinney open, and that's a mistake. He has all 4 St. Mary's points. And as Bernie said before the broadcaster last game, I mean, this is a kid that he said the highest rated player in the state of Michigan
since Weber.
Since Chris Weber, which was 1991 for those that aren't familiar.
Well, it was 88 when he was a freshman.
Oh, that's right. Or even more impressive.
You know, Battier was pretty hyped, coming behind Weber at Country Day.
Sure.
But
Bernard gets the lay-in, and Grosse Pointe South making a statement. They regain the lead by 3, or re-up their lead to 3. 5 minutes left.
Foster Loyer was pretty heralded.
Yeah.
But nobody to the extent that McKinney is.
Hannah for 3, missed again, and St. Mary's settling for long jumpers. Except now, Javon to the hole, fouled going up. The zone's easy to get comfortable, complacent against, and start firing shots up. Steve Bernard's hoping he can get more of that from St. Mary's, right?
I mean, we got 2 of the most pure. We have the best pure point guard in the state in Kareem Rozier, but then we have 2 of the most pure scoring threats in Javon Hanna and Anthony Bernard.
That's right.
Guys that can go for 30, and it's like like they're going to get a drink of water.
Yep.
It's effortless. It's they just know how to score the basketball.
How about Javon's shoe game? A little bit of orange to offset that black with a neon green socks.
I'm just happy he's back in the state, or back in the MHSAA.
Yep, the Bates Academy closed, and Javon needed to go somewhere, and he's one of the guys that decided to stick around in this state, which is a cool thing. Carter Richards with a bounce pass. Backdoor, Bernard laying good. Bernard has 7 of the 9 Grosse Pointe South points. St. Mary's down by 4. Grosse Pointe South has had the lead since that Bernard triple gave him a 3-2 advantage early.
Bernard's also the quarterback of the football team for Grosse Pointe South.
Is that right?
Yep. Great pass.
Great look to Jack Crichton, the future Michigan Wolverine who's put on some pounds this year.
He'll be playing the hot corner in Ann Arbor.
Yes, sir. A little bit of outfield as well in high school, but I think his future remains at third base with a 6'5" frame and growing. Top average for most of the year on that St. Mary's team. It got overlooked from Alex Mooney, but he had a higher average than Mooney for a lot of the year and didn't finish too far below him in average.
They also got Brock Porter and Ike Irish. You got a lot of All-American baseball players at St. Mary's right now.
They have 3 legit first-round, second-round draft picks this year coming up. And don't forget, Alex Mooney is eligible to go back into the draft next spring. And he is, again, projected to be a first-round pick, of course. Sherrod Barnes will dribble drive, dump down to his buddy, teammate, and roommate, Trey McKinney, and lay it in. And the Eaglets have tied it at 9 with 3.5 to go in the first. McKinney with 6 to lead the way for the Eaglets. Just a freshman. There's a steal at midcourt. Kareem, the throw ahead to Hannah. The lollipop pass. The lay-in and the foul. Eaglets on a run, a 6-0 run. The defense starting to create for that offense, Scott.
Man, Kareem is such a coach on the floor. Calling the crew together after the basket, letting everyone know what needs to be said, what needs to be done. The straw that stirs the drink, man. Kareem Rozier, just everything you want from a floor general. He's going to Duquesne. going to be coached by Keith Dambrot, who helped develop one LeBron James back in LeBron James' earlier days, coming up in Ohio.
Yep.
And Keith Dambrot, someone who has built a reputation for himself in the coaching profession dating back 2, 3, 4 decades as someone that's really good at developing small point guards.
Yep, for sure. And also Carl and Charles Thomas.
Yes.
Also his assistants, very instrumental in the recruitment.
And Dambrot had recruited the Thomas twins to Eastern Michigan.
When he was an assistant.
When he was an assistant under Ben Braun, then took the job at, I believe, at Ashland for a year or two, and then was the Central Michigan coach for a couple years. Then had to go back to the high school ranks and worked his way back up.
Yep, he had an issue up in Mount Pleasant. Came back and more than made up for that issue. It was a young mistake, and Dambrot has outlived that, deservedly so. 14-1 for St. Mary's a year ago. They are combined 35-2 under Todd Covert their last 2 seasons. State titles, 4 of them for the Eaglets, the most in the Catholic League. 2000, the most in the Catholic League Central Division, that is. 2000, 1982, 1978, and 1933. Kalen Lucas, you'll recall, 2007 grad.
Final Four. I went to the Final Four.
Went to the Final Four as well. And the 2000.
Jack Crichton does look like he hit the gym or hit the weight room. He's a little more chiseled, a little bit more defined. And at the end of last year, you saw him, dunking on people.
Yes, sir.
You didn't see that his first couple of years.
No, there's a left-hand leaner, no good. Offensive rebound. St. Mary's is up by 3. Right wing triple, and we are tied.
Man, is that a smooth
Anthony
shot?
Bernard.
Is that a smooth shot?
Double-digit points already for Bernard. Guy that has a 3.4 GPA as well. Left wing McKinney shot, no. Here comes Bernard and the Blue Devils.
Bernard got that offer from UD Mercy after his freshman year. So still waiting to see who else can get involved in his recruitment. I think a lot of people want to see how you do your junior year.
A bit undersized at 6 foot, much like what we saw with Sonny Wilson.
He shoots it a little bit better than Sonny Wilson.
St. Mary's has checked into the lineup. Bartosz Kapuska. This is a kid from Poland and a transfer and a senior. And he is a big that Todd Covert and company are excited about, and he has his first rebound as an Eaglet. Javon Hanna on the run. Left corner, Rozier back to Hanna. Banker, no, but a foul. Free throw line left for Javon Hanna. Kapusa will man the middle this year. He missed the opener with a groin injury, and he will share that duty at the 5 spot with DC Temple, who is out of this game. Temple sitting with a shoulder injury. It was injured in the final football game of the year for St. Mary's against Brother Rice. He'll be back in 2 to 3 weeks.
Signed to CMU?
Committed to CMU. Albert Karshnia, the Director of Football Operations up at CMU. St. Mary's graduate, doing great things. Jim McElwain doing wonderful things up there as the head coach, and the best football program in the state of Michigan from the MAC. 13-12, St. Mary's by 1. Got a slow start offensively for the Eaglets. Bernard and the Blue Devils sticking around. And Bernard against Rozier missed that. Jack on the run.
I'm okay with that shot. Anything he shoots, I'm okay with.
Kareem, pocket left 3, Splash City. Number 3 with a triple. And the 2 number 3s going at it. First bucket of the night for Kareem Rozier. The Duquesne commit. Fun matchup to watch with him and Bernard. Cross-court pass. Good ball movement. The Blue Devils have checked into the lineup. Number 15, that is Peter Olku. Steal by St. Mary's. Trey McKinney the other way. One-handed slam is down. And the Eaglets enjoying their largest lead now of 6 with 1:05 left in the first quarter.
Oh, that was a heck of a screen.
Big boy screen by Peter Olku. Rebound Trey McKinney. Eaglets want to run. Javon Hanna sideline right. Behind the back. Right elbow jumper. Got it.
Pulling up for 2, Javon Hanna.
That's the Mr. Basketball type play you talk about, Bernie. 8-point lead for St. Mary's, their largest. Hannah has 6th. Second leading scorer right now.
Knows how to fill it up. Just, he's one of those guys, he's just a scorer. Not a shooter, just scorer. Knows how to score the basketball.
Bart Kapusa is 6'9", and he's out there guarding on the perimeter. Not a lot of folks may know about this young man, but he's a big that a lot of folks will be on notice for in this state soon enough. He wears 42 in black for the Eaglets. Time winding down, Grosse Pointe South milking the clock. Right corner three on the way, long from Matt Cagoni. And with 1 second left, Rozier at the buzzer, Splash City. And the Eaglets, who trailed for most of the first quarter.
You can't leave Kareem Rozier open for that kind of shot. He's going to hit it in your eye every time.
11-point lead just like that for the Eaglets of Orchard Lake, the number 1 team in the top 11 with some momentum as we go to the second quarter of the Calihan Challenge. Thanks for hanging out on this Sunday night.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
St. Mary's trailed by 4 at one point in the first quarter. They come back swinging. Kareem Rozier with a couple triples in the final minute. Grosse Pointe South, the Blue Devils from down the road in Grosse Pointe Farms from the MAC Red Division I. 1,373 students, 11-3 last year under Steve Bernard, the head coach.
Let me just deep dive you for a second, Kareem Rozier, and his development. The first couple years in high school, was clearly one of the best point guards in the state. Was the definition of a facilitator. But between his sophomore and junior year, turned himself into a incredibly proficient three-point shooter, which is, that's the difference maker. That's what takes him from a Division III or Division II guard to a Division I guard. And I know he's small. He's only about 5'9", if that. But, he can knock down 50% of his three-point shots and facilitate at the level he does.
Yeah.
You're getting the perfect point guard.
For sure. Bernard on the baseline, you see the ability and the explosive first step.
And it seems like there are people that are still kind of getting hip to this about Kareem and his shooting skill. I was just talking to a coach 20 minutes ago. And I was asking what they thought about Kareem, and they said, well, I think he needs to shoot it better. I said, well, have you seen him play since his sophomore year? I said, maybe that was the case 2 years ago, but.
Yeah. No, he shot it better. You're right. Down low, banker, good. Andrew Smith is in the game for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Javon Hanna gets a breather. The second man off the bench for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Jack Crichton. Sort of a skilled glue guy with it between the rings. Brad Crichton, his dad, former head coach at Rochester Adams, an assistant with Todd Covert. There's a sweet feed from Kareem to Trey, who lays it in and now has 10 points to match the game high.
The Crichton family has quite the athletic pedigree. His dad, Brad, was a star basketball player, golfer, baseball player at Adams in the 90s, and then his mom, Courtney Ruffin, was one of the best one of the best basketball players to ever come through Oakland County.
How about that? We like Courtney.
And Courtney went to Oakland University and had a great career at the college level. But I'm sure there's some long debates at the dinner table amongst the Crichton clan at who gets bragging rights.
Yep.
Is it Papa Bear, is it Mama Bear, or is it Baby Bear?
Hot potato pass to the corner, Trey McKinney. Showing a lot of attention. He's open, though, for three, far sideline. Back iron miss, no. And a push off by big Bart Kapusa, who's shaking off some of the rust as he heads back the other way, getting his first game minutes. Marcus Webster, also an assistant coach under Todd Covert. Leonard Karshnia, his top assistant, who's been at Orchard Lake St. Mary's for over 30 years.
Marcus is one of the good guys.
He sure is.
You know, one of the architects of the, if not the architect of the Reach Legends AAU program.
Yeah, that's right. Former head coach at Ferndale High School.
Yep.
Todd Covert, a 92 grad of Orchard Lake St. Mary's. There's a Gino Bealey whip pass from Bernard. Gets the return pass picked off by Bart Kapusa. No look pass to McKinney down the boulevard with a hammer. 26-14. A couple of newcomers showing fans.
Showing some Euro swag.
Little Euro swag from a 6'9", 240-pound forward bringing it up the floor. And we got a carry from Bernard. The ball didn't cooperate.
For people that don't know, I mean, Orchard Lake St. Mary's started as a Polish school.
Oh, no doubt. It's a Polish school.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
where the roots are.
Right, right. The Dombrowski Fieldhouse.
Sure.
The Polish Fair every year.
Built on Polish roots.
Yep.
And Bart Kapusa, a big part of that. Daniel Smythe is checked into the St. Mary's lineup. Jack Crichton gets a breather. No look down to Trey McKinney from the left block. And a rare miss for number 1. South basketball, 5:20 left, St. Mary's by a dozen. Matches their largest lead.
They're really denying Bernard the ball this last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. Trying to post up Smythe is Tommy McInerney, who was their second leading scorer back on Thursday night in the loss to Loyola. 6'5" junior with size.
I'll tell you, if Daniel Smythe can shoot the ball half as well as his brother will, he'll be just fine. And in this,
he's got a different element to his game. He is a very good shooter, but he has
because the Fresh Prince
a lot of point guard, more point guard in him than shooting guard, but has the shooting ability, more of a driver.
Yeah.
But has the ability. I'd say he's a little more versatile, to be fair. But that level of shooting that Will Smythe has certainly is not something that you replicate very often.
He was the Fresh Prince of Commerce Road.
That's right, Indian Trail.
One of the best shooters I've ever seen at the high school level in Michigan. We saw him in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
You know, want to talk about putting on a clinic.
Yeah. 40 points against Ferndale, put him on the map, 12 three-pointers. He's doing great work for Mr. Valentine in Chicago.
Yep. He'll make his way in the lineup before it's all said and done.
Sure. At Loyola, a red shirt this year. Off the ball foul, it's going to go on English. That's Alex English, 6'7" junior. No relation to
the former Denver Nugget.
One of the top 50 players in the country. Kapusa for 3 from the corner, no, that pops out. You can see the range.
Look nice, though.
Yep. Bernard, right corner. Being checked by Kapusa. Comfortable defending on the perimeter. Down loose layup, good by the big boy, Alex English. 26-18. Grosse Pointe South gets it back to single digits. St. Mary's will take on Clarkston on Thursday in Clarkston. Kareem to the rack, no. Rims off.
That's always one of the early season matchups to look forward to when Clarkston and St. Mary's lock horns.
It's a fun battle and one that St. Mary's won last year in the final seconds on a free throw. Kareem down the alley and a foul on the floor, a reach in by South. They did not play in the early season like they were scheduled to due to COVID. That game was canceled. So they met up in the regionals.
Yep.
And got a win at Lakeland High School. Here on the prep, we covered that game.
I want to say the game went to overtime.
It did. I believe you might be right on that. I was calling it from my kitchen. I had COVID. And
I was in the building. It went down to the final.
Yeah.
Final shot.
8-point St. Mary's lead. Daniel Smythe with it high on the left.
Yeah, Roper hit the free throw still.
Kick out, Kareem, left wing 3 on the way. No, it's an air ball. Picked up, though, by McKinney, who finishes, and a foul. 14 points for the freshman, Trey McKinney.
He's got a man's body, I'll tell you that.
Sure does, and really solid. That's a tough down low paint presence in Kapusa and McKinney. DC Temple, by the way, of course, we talked about, isn't even on the team yet. He's out with an injury for a couple more weeks.
You know, right before the season started, McKinney got an Illinois offer. Brett Underwood coming in, making sure that Trey knows that the Fighting Illini want him to come into the fold there in a couple years. I think he might have taken an unofficial visit to campus.
I believe that's right. There's an illegal screen up top on Daniel Smythe. Alex English got busted for it. There are 13 players today in this 5th annual CHSL MAC Calihan Challenge that have Division I offers in hand. And it's believed that there's over 20 that have college
D2
basketball offers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're counting D2 or D3,
it's over 20. Yeah. Kapusa on the right wing. No look, left corner. Daniel Smythe, 4-3. Splash City for Daniel Smythe.
That looked familiar.
He could shoot it. You said it. There's no doubt.
Looked familiar.
31-18 St. Mary's. They'll call it a long 2 for Smythe to match his jersey number. The depth for OLSM this year with Todd Covert.
I think this team could be the best out of the last 3.
I think you're right.
When you're talking about the way that the team gels, the balance, the complementary parts.
Splash City left corner. Bugsy Smythe drills another. The sophomore. Pick it up where his big bro left off. He's got 5. Sorry about that, Scott.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. I was talking over you.
No. You were. This is something to watch, though, with the depth and to see the cohesiveness. This is a team, Scott, that maybe last year didn't have this kind of ball movement, willingness to pass, and it just feels different with this team here this year. And
a little bit more length.
Yeah.
A little bit more size.
Right.
The shooting's there. The playmaking's there. The leadership's there.
Hannah with a travel. Got a little cute with that one. 34-18. St. Mary's enjoying a 16-point advantage. They trailed for the first half of the first quarter.
So right now, Trey McKinney's got offers from DePaul, Eastern Michigan, Texas Christian, Temple, Texas, and Texas A&M. And then Illinois. So he's got over a half dozen offers.
How about that? Kareem Rozier to the rack, no, but his teammate Javon has his back. These two are tight. 36-18, 8 for Hannah.
I don't want to look too deep into this, but, so start of the slate, we had both Michigan and Michigan State in the stands.
Yep.
Michigan State has left.
Interesting.
It's just Michigan.
How about
Makes
that?
me wonder if Izzo and his staff have already given up on McKinney and Barnes.
Yeah.
Or aren't interested yet.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Right.
He's the highest touted player of the day.
Yep.
Of these 5 games, even though he's only 14.
Look at the passing clinic by St. Mary's. Rozier misses the triple.
So I'm surprised that Jawan's the only one left.
I am too. I think that's a telling point, Scott. I don't think that should be overlooked. I think that's a very good point. Let's revisit that. McKinney layup after the unselfish pass from Javon Hannah. 20-point lead for St. Mary's, 1:10 left until halftime.
Because believe me, those kind of things leave impressions. I mean, a 14 or 15-year-old kid looks into the stands. He sees the Michigan coach and doesn't see the Michigan State coach. That makes an impact.
It sure does. Left corner 3 is down. That's 25. That's Griffin Adams who knocks it home. Todd Covert calls the plays. He does run some sets, and he'll look for one shot. 17-point St. Mary's lead. 30 seconds left until the break. We'll have a recap and a highlight package of the first half coming up. Rozier splits the defenders, kick out Hannah, corner three, splash city. 41-21 back to a 20-point lead.
Javon Hannah's like, Bernie, you said I was a scorer, not a shooter. I'm going to show you I can shoot just as well as all those other guys you're propping up for their long-distance skills.
Did they give him a 3 for that? Okay, yeah. They had a 2 originally. They got it right. 11 points now in the game for Javon. Yeah, you did call him a scorer.
He's just crafty.
Yeah, that's fair. Guy that scores at 3 levels.
He really does.
You don't want to leave him alone from deep. And if you do close out on him from deep, which you should, he's going to blow by you.
He scored 60 in a game 2 years ago.
Did he really?
As a sophomore, yeah.
Who were they playing? I think it actually was against one of these coaches or teams. Stevenson, actually. It was the Stevenson coach.
Stevenson
was involved in it because I recall talking to him back on Wednesday. And yes, I believe it was when he was with Roseville as a sophomore.
Mount Clemens.
Mount Clemens, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As a sophomore.
He went for 60.
I think wow, my goodness. It's crazy.
He's had a number of 40-point outings.
Three-pointer at the buzzer from Hannah can't fall, but St. Mary's makes a statement in the second. 41-23, the Eaglets by 18 from Calihan Hall in Detroit in the finale of the 5th annual CHSL MAC Calihan Challenge. We're glad you're with us. Thanks for hanging out on the prep.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
This is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Is the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
so the interscholastic athletes may thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stands should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decision.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given for that.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Oh yeah, a little rev up. Now we're talking. A little Motor City Metal. Ali Hadi spinning the dials on the sound and the tunes. We're at the break. Orchard Lake St. Mary's on top 41-23 over Grosse Pointe South as we get ready for the second half coming up. Let's tell you about the first half and a lot of highlights to get to in this one. St. Mary's in the lead 41-23. Grosse Pointe South got out early and had the lead in this game, but St. Mary's had some suffocating defense, was able to force some turnovers, but Anthony Bernard got it going with a three. This gave Grosse Pointe South the lead, and they had some momentum early, some things going. St. Mary's found the right combination, found the right guy in Trey McKinney as you see Bernard doing his thing. And here's Trey, who dished it here to Jack Crichton for the finish. Then you see the ball moving around the perimeter, and just so many weapons. The left-hand lane for the freshman, Trey McKinney. And then Javon Hanna, the Mr. Basketball candidate with the hoop and the harm. And St. Mary's would pull away late in this first half to blossom the lead all the way up to 20. Bernard would keep him around. He led the way with a dozen first half points.
He had most of them in the first quarter.
He did. Kareem Rozier had a couple triples. And Trey McKinney had a couple of slams. But Scott, in the end, St. Mary's put on a push. Late in that second half, the defense was a factor. And the unselfishness and the willing passing of St. Mary's, something we haven't seen maybe the last couple years, is on display today.
I like what I see from Javon Hanna, just willing to be a team player.
Yep.
You know, it was kind of known as a volume shooter, and has welcomed the idea of cutting back on attempts. And he's making the most of his opportunities. Kareem Rozier is doing what he does as a floor general and and making sure that it's just a symphony of synchronization, which is what Kareem Rozier's specialty
Daniel
is.
Smythe 3, and then the long 2. Bugsy with a quick 5.
Daniel Smythe showing that he can shoot it lights out just like his big bro Will. And then the 2 freshmen, McKinney and Barnes, living up to that hype as a dynamic duo to be on the watch for.
Bart Kapusa, you see in there as the 3-pointer went down for Grosse Pointe South's Griffin Adams. And then Javon Hanna got the long shot going in the final 15 seconds to drain that shot. And here we are, St. Mary's up 41-23 and continues the theme, the Catholic League, which we knew coming in is the best conference, no doubt, in the state. But you start to think about, the 5 teams ranked in the top 10 overall.
You can stack them up against any conference in America.
In America, right? Is there really?
I wanted to make sure before I made that statement that I talked to enough national experts, and I called my guy at ESPN, and I called my guy at Rivals, and I said, am I crazy for saying this? And they're like, no, you're not. They're like,
what's the next closest conference or area that you would say would threaten that as being the top conference or top area?
Chicago, if we're talking the Midwest, Chicago still has a very, very tough Chicago Public School League. It hasn't gone by the wayside the way that the Detroit PSL has.
Simeon and company,
in New York, the City League is insane.
Yeah.
In LA, I know that it's separated.
Is it? Yeah, they have 2 different titles there, don't they?
Yeah,
the North and the South,
right?
The California,
Southern LA, and then Southern California and Northern California.
Yeah. Well, St. Mary's up comfortably by 18. It's been a day of blowouts, to be frank. De La Salle opened it with an 85-36 win over East Point, and a nice showing against the Shamrocks, who are under a first-year leader. And Brother Rice also had some great moments against Lakeshore, 63-46 in the closest game in Game 2. Catholic Central with a dominating 76-37 win, and then UAD also with a dominating win. From second quarter on, it was clear that UAD is great. It's hard to look. We've seen all the teams now, right? We've only seen a half of St. Mary's. It's hard to say, all right, this team's ahead of that team. It's still we hope to have a conclusion today,
we'll know soon enough. They're going to start beating each other up within a matter of weeks.
This is true.
The only downside could be that these guys take such a toll on each other that by the time you hit the tournament, there's a fatigue factor that sets in, which I know that the football teams. Because the Catholic League Central is so tough on the football field, I know that that's one of the reasons that they changed the format of the Catholic League football finals was to limit the amount of self-inflicted wounds that you give yourself within the conference.
Yep, that's a good point.
I guess self-inflicted wounds wouldn't be the right way to explain it, but
no, I understand your point. I do.
Getting beat up within your own conference before you go out and play the rest of the state.
Yes, I'm with you. Trey McKinney has a triple, and he now has 20 points. That's a game high and a career high, of course, for the freshman for St. Mary's. Sherrod Barnes has yet to really make an impact or statement in this game, but number 0 might have been the best player on the floor on Tuesday night for Orchard Lake St. Mary's against Stevenson in their season opener. There's a 3-pointer off the mark. Kareem zooming back the other way. Hanna, pocket 3. No. Trey McKinney picks it up and gives it back to Javon. Says, try it again. Same result. Sherrod Barnes keeps it going. 15-footer is long. 4th shot on the trip. Why not? No shot. It's cleared away. Richards. Pass off the backboard to his center. And my goodness, did they put a lid on the bucket for both teams?
Nobody can get it to fall, but Trey McKinney's there for the board.
A bunch of rebounds getting patted here. Jack Crichton, after it was tipped, regains control and is fouled.
Just from some early returns, my gut is telling me that Trey McKinney could end up being the leading scorer on this team, that it won't be Javon Hanna.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 20 points now. He led him with 17 in the opener. It's certainly trending that way. Javon Hanna says, no, I'm going to try to drive it this time. Leaves it short, got his own miss, fouled, and the bucket.
But it speaks to the culture that someone like Hanna or someone like Roper last year was willing to concede a little bit of his Mr. Basketball campaign for the betterment of the team.
Yep.
And I can already just tell by watching this, 2.5 quarters of Javon Hanna that, he wants to be part of a winning program and wants to contribute where he needs to contribute. He's not going to force the issue. He's not overshooting right now.
Grosse Pointe South, that's right. Grosse Pointe South overruns Donovan Moody, runs through. No, I think you're right, and Javon Hanna,
he's taking the shots that he needs to take here, but it's not a situation where you're a 25-a-night scorer and you're pressing after your your second game and you're not getting on track maybe as much as you thought you would, and you just start pulling every time down the floor. That's not what's going on.
Javon Hanna gets the miss from the freshman Sherrod Barnes, lays it in. Todd Covert raves about Javon Hanna. He talks about how he's just such a good kid, has $1 million smile, has a great heart, is a good teammate and a good person. His family brought in Bart Kapusa for Thanksgiving. Bart from Poland lives in the dorms, had nowhere to go. And Javon's mom and dad said, hey, why don't you have Bart come on over to the house for Thanksgiving?
That's pretty awesome.
And Javon went down to his room and said, hey, man, you want to come over for Thanksgiving? He says, yeah, let's do it. And he went and had a blast with Javon's family for like 24 hours. And they just had some of the best time.
That's awesome.
And Taco was just, I get chills, he said, just, seeing how he's interacting. And Javon Hanna, he says, just a great person. Forget about the basketball. And I know it's cliche, but he says if you knew his parents and the kind of people they are, you'd understand where it came from. Throw ahead to Javon. He'll feed it back and get it ripped by Bernard.
I remember Javon's older brother.
Who was that?
Thomas Hanna.
Okay. And who was he?
I have no idea what he did after.
Where did he go?
He went to Mount Clemens. He was at Mount Clemens.
Okay.
And I saw him his senior year go for like a 35-point game. Well, he's a scorer just like Javon
Really?
was.
Alex English gets another possession for South with his hard, dirty work on the floor. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. St. Mary's by 23 in the finale of the 5th annual CHSL MAC Calihan Challenge.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's #1 ranked in our prep top 11. We'll take a look at the poll here shortly. St. Mary's #1, along with Brother Rice, who's #2. Jack Crichton with a near sideline steal.
I don't think Crichton's got on the board yet.
He has 2 points. He got a drop-off lay-in earlier, but you're right. It's been a quiet, productive night for not as productive
He's a sniper
scoring.
too. I haven't seen him pop any threes.
He's the best on-ball defender St. Mary's has, and so yeah, he does a lot of quiet things. You're right. Does a lot of his noise with a baseball bat on the baseball field. He's a scholarship kid going to the University of Michigan.
He got that scholarship after his freshman year.
He sure did. He's been committed since a freshman. He's got a brother coming to St. Mary's next year, and he's in the same mold. There's a foul attacking the rim. Sherrod Barnes will go line right. We talked about the Holder family earlier. You got the Smythes, older brother, younger brother, and the Crichtons are about to have that as well. Of course, Jack will miss his brother by a year. Sherrod Barnes line right. Eastern Michigan has offered this young man. He's one of the best defenders Todd Covert has ever seen as a freshman. He says he just has a different tenacity and understanding about defense. He wants to play defense, and he's skilled offensively. There's not a lot of kids that have that.
I like the fact that he wasn't scared off coming to St. Mary's by the fact that McKinney was already there.
No, he welcomed it, and you're right. I mean, look, a highlight player like McKinney coming in, and Sherrod Barnes Happy to be his Batman to the Robin. There's a steal by Crichton. Showtime coming up for JC with a right-handed light flush through on this Sunday afternoon. And St. Mary's has grown the lead to 21, their largest.
His pops played, I want to say played golf and basketball at College of Ozark.
I think he did, and that's where the Crichtons are from. Missouri. Jack's grandparents very involved in the baseball broadcast. They're probably listening now. Dead spot right, Rozier for 3, no. Trey McKinney says try it, Javon. Dead spot left, and that thing rolled out.
He still looks good shooting the ball.
Yeah. Bernard with a spin move. Nice. No-look dish down low to Alex English. That's a fun-looking play there. Kid's got some game.
Barnes running the point now.
Jack off the bounce. Going to attack. No foul call.
McKinney's got 10 rebounds already, too.
My goodness. Trey, dead spot right for 3. It's long. It's an air ball out of bounds. And a rare humbling moment for the freshman through almost 7 quarters of play in his young career.
One of the first Flintstones that I've covered. You know, comes from Flint.
Yep. That's right.
You'd think maybe if it was a different era, he might have stayed around the Flint area. But again, we were talking about all the meccas kind of going by the wayside, the Pontiacs, the Saginaw's.
Yeah.
The Flints, Detroit Public School League.
Grand Blanc kind of represent that area now, and that's somebody St. Mary's will face on the 8th in another tournament, the Gotta Get It Classic. Led by Mike Thomas and Grand Blanc, the Division I state champions from a year ago, and a team that beat Orchard Lake St. Mary's in the quarterfinals. And you can say, oh, they're out for revenge on January the 8th, but the bottom line is that the only revenge that'll take place is in the playoffs and the MHSAA tournament.
Yeah.
Bart Kapusa checks in for Orchard Lake St. Mary. So does Daniel Smythe. Hannah and Crichton take a seat. St. Mary's by 21, 51-30 over Grosse Pointe South. There's a sling from the right wing, and Kapusa on the run with Kareem. Down the rack, lay in, good, and the foul for Kareem. The kid headed to Pittsburgh to be a Duquesne.
Yeah, and they're getting themselves a special playmaker. The kind of kid that can anchor a backcourt, can, do everything you need a point guard to do, he's going to do. I mean, I say the term straw that stirs the drink, coach on the floor. He epitomizes it all.
Well, as a 14-year-old freshman, he was grabbing seniors as a starter.
I saw his first game was
and
here.
saying, hey, you got to,
his first game
natural-born leader.
His first game was in this event.
Is that right?
Against Dakota.
Okay.
And Dakota had Ryan Rollins.
Sure.
Who I think's at Toledo now. And
Kareem with a left hand just missed.
First high school game had 20 points. And I knew he was special.
That is special.
And they blew out Dakota. That was a good Dakota team.
Was it? Off the bounce, Bernard is fouled by Kareem on the perimeter. That'll be just his second foul.
Team's third. Checking in for St. Mary's Prep, number 11, Andrew Smith. On the south side, it's 4 and 5.
Grosse Pointe South had a nice season a year ago. And a team that had 13 wins, just a couple losses. Sherrod Barnes gets the rebound. Back the other way and fouled going up. A little bit out of control.
I'm sure Coach Bernard is missing his second best player that decided not to come out for his senior year, Will Johnson, the blue chip football player going to Michigan. Could be early enrolling, I'm not sure. I would guess he's going to early enroll after the holiday, but he was a really good basketball player. I mean, not quite at the level of playing in the Big Ten, but he was the type of guy that could get you 15 a night and play great defense.
That's right.
So you remove him from the lineup, and then Anthony Bernard is kind of left to shoulder the whole offensive, all the offensive responsibility.
Yeah, that's right. Sherrod Barnesline Wright has his first point. 11-3 last year was Grosse Pointe South. 8-1 in the MAC Red. They were co-champs with Dakota.
They made sweet music together, though, on the football field this year.
Will Johnson.
Anthony Bernard was feeding Will Johnson in the end zone.
There's a steal for Andrew Smith. 3 ball on the way is good, and that's from Donovan Moody. Timeout, Steve Bernard.
Moody looks like a football player.
Waterford Mott will hit the road down to Grosse Pointe South and play in that wonderful, fabulous gym and school for GP South's next contest that's coming up on Tuesday night.
You want to talk about one of the things that we were really deprived of because of COVID and the canceling of the tournament in 2020 was a district final matchup between Lauren Bowman, Kareem Rozier, Julian Roper, and that St. Mary's group against Isaiah Jackson, who's now in the NBA, was a first-round draft pick, was at Waterford Mott that year.
It would have been a fun matchup. It was headed there.
They hadn't. I don't think they had lost. I don't think Mott had lost. At least Mott hadn't lost in the league.
Right. St. Mary's had just one loss.
Right, and they were going to play in the district final at West Bloomfield. It would have been a great game. Unfortunately, Isaiah Jackson, he was done with high school at that point, went to Kentucky and became a first-round draft pick, but that would have been exciting.
Sure would have. St. Mary's 18-0 that year, 18-1 in the regular season, only lost to the eventual state champion. Let's take a look at our top 11. St. Mary's number 1, looking to go to 2-0 on this young season. They'll have a big matchup against Clarkston on Thursday coming up. Brother Rice, who got a win in Game 2 against Lakeshore, 63-46, our number 2 team. De La Salle with a big win to open things, 85-36. Number 4 team Hamtramck and Robert Davis and company. UAD, who we saw our 5th best team, they knocked off Dakota in the game before this, 67-37. King, number 6, Ferndale 7, Castech 8, Adams of Rochester 9, Detroit Catholic Central 10, and River Rouge 11. Back to the action, St. Mary's by 21 from Calihan Hall as Hannah gets ripped. Bernard kicks it, right wing 3, Adams no. Rebound Bugsy Smythe. Daniel on the run to Bart Kapusa with a finger roll lay-in. That's the first bucket of the career of Bart Kapusa out of Poland. And the senior transfer floater no good, tipped out by South. And it's back to the Eaglets, who are up by 21.
Approaching final minute, third quarter.
Kapusa's an athletic big man. I'm sorry.
No, I like the black uniforms.
They're sweet, aren't they? Kapusa ahead to Smith, and he'll back it out. Andrew was a two-way player last year. Kapusa down low, and he had that dunk already down before he caught it. Bobbled the basketball. Bernard, 16 points in this game, but it's been a quiet second half. Just one basket for Anthony Bernard in the second.
I think he had 10 in the first quarter.
He did.
He's only had 6 since.
Yep. 10 in the first quarter. Whistle on the floor. And what do we have here?
Grosse Pointe has two really special players. They just happen to play on opposite sides of the city. Adam Arol over at Grosse Pointe North is a very, very talented basketball player. His sister Julie was a Miss Basketball candidate a couple years ago.
Is that right?
And I wonder what it would be like if Arol and Bernard were playing on the same team.
Yeah, you wonder if those Grosse Pointe teams ever combine. Those are two schools, by the way, that were once one.
Yep.
Back in the day. Shot at the buzzer, no good. 25-point Orchard Lake St. Mary's lead as we go to the fourth quarter, the final quarter of today. Great job by our crew. Thanks to everybody for watching here on the Prep.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Thanks to our great crew today. Ali Hadi producing. Robert Sherby also doing some great production work, producing this broadcast. Assistant producer. Alex Westfall is back. He's had his time here and everywhere. Alex has been all around the state. He's back for this finale. He's been working camera, executive producing from Bloomfield Hills, doing it all. Evan Westfall on scoreboard, doing a great job. Rob Sarna on camera. Alex Johnson on camera. And where'd our third cameraman go? My goodness, I can't keep track of this crew. Huh? Okay. There he is. Jimmy Modelski. Javon Hanna with a 3-ball, no good. Great crew. Want to also thank our creative director, James Ferris, and Julia Pisano of our creative team as well, doing great work. Cameron Clothier, also a fine part of our creative production today. Scott Bernstein on color commentary, Pat Bush on stats, Jamie Janssen on stats. And if I left anybody out, I apologize. We want to thank the Catholic League. We want to thank the Macomb Athletic Conference as well. Want to thank Tim Fair and the folks at UAD Mercy. And it's been a great day of basketball.
It really has. The Stars have shined brightly.
They have.
Even in losses.
Smythe will check out. Jack Crichton is back in along with Hannah. As the free throws down, and St. Mary's has reached 60 points. 7:30 left. We're just underway in the fourth. Anthony Bernard, offered by U of D. Mercy. And the Titans. Kapusa, tight defense topside. Down low, Jack Crichton rejects the shot of the Blue Devils. Look at that defense.
Doesn't really seem like DC Temple is missed that much.
He's not. But he's a huge piece when he comes back.
I'm not saying that as a disrespect to DC, because obviously he's going to bring more firepower.
And he's not yet at this point, right? Let's be fair.
I'm just looking at it right now, and I'm like,
at this point, he's not.
You know.
But maybe when you get into the Catholic League Central Division, that's going to be a big body you're going to rely on.
Well, they did a lot of pick and rolls with Kareem last year. And,
yeah.
You know, he got a lot of his buckets because Kareem was feeding them on the on the blocks.
Yep.
He'll give an added dimension, but I'm just saying that, like, for a team that's not playing at full capacity,
yep,
they look pretty darn good.
I agree. Crichton missed the three, chase his own shot. Bob Piles is the headmaster at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Todd Covert, the head coach.
I guess the thing that I'm most impressed about without DC Temple on the floor is they haven't lost anything on the glass.
Yeah,
they're still crashing the boards.
Yeah, Kapusa helps that.
McKinney helps.
McKinney helps too. You got a wing that rebounds like McKinney and has that size, and with McKinney and Kapusa, and you throw DC Temple. I mean, it's going to be hard to find space in that paint between the athleticism, the size, the strength, and the skill.
And Jack Crichton didn't even, really have a big offensive output tonight.
No, teams will take their guys will take their turns. You got to think the focus, for all these Central Division teams is pick your poison.
He didn't even take a lot of shots tonight.
Yeah, McKinney to Hannah. Hannah couldn't handle it, and he turns it over.
I think Jack's taken 2 shots all night.
Yeah.
And for people that haven't watched St. Mary's play, Jack Crichton is a sniper.
Yes, sir. Left wing 3 air ball. Javon Hanna with a 3-on-2, and he threw it away. Now Bernard has a 4-on-1.
That was nice.
Kapusa is lost by Carter Richards with a nice move. Todd Covert's seen enough. He's going to take the sport coat off and call timeout. Covert in his 7th year. The athletic director is George Porritt. And this is a nice play here by Grosse Pointe South to take us to the break.
Nice find by Bernard.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
A lot of talent, a lot of teams that have a chance to make a run on display here today in the CHSL MAC Calihan Challenge, 5th annual. Glad you're with us from Detroit. My name's Chad Bush alongside Scott Bernstein of the Oakland Press and of so many more things than that. You've done so many great things for high school sports in this area. I want to thank you for what you've done in covering all this for so many folks. Kapusa for 3, no. And carrying on the traditions at the Oakland Press. I grew up reading Wayne Wilson.
So did I.
Wayne Wilson and Cosmo and all that, and couldn't wait in the morning to go get the newspaper. Probably much like you.
I'll give you a peek behind the curtain.
Sure.
Wayne Wilson was Cosmo.
Yes, right. I didn't want to spoil it for anybody. Oh man, Kareem with a nice look to Javon Hanna.
You know, Wayne Wilson,
whatever became
gave
of
up
him.
his journalist aspirations and went back to school, became a teacher. And last time I was in touch with him, he was teaching at Goodrich.
Okay, he was a Martian.
Yeah, and his son was a really good basketball player.
I could imagine that.
I think his name was Tag.
Cool. I like that name.
But I ran into him on the beat early in my career at the Oakland Press, maybe 4 or 5 years in.
Yeah, fun guy to work with.
No, I didn't know Wayne. Like you, I grew up reading him, but I didn't know him personally.
Right.
And then I covered a Goodrich game, and he was on the bench. And I was like, is that Wayne Wilson, like from the Oakland Press, Wayne Wilson? They're like, yeah. I was like, could you introduce me to him? And I went up and shook his hand, and we talked after the game for about 20 minutes. And I told him how his writing and his approach was real inspiring to me in the way that I cover it.
Yeah.
Hyping kids up.
And I see that through, and you've carried that on, and it is fun to see.
To get your name shouted. I mean, when in the 90s, before there was the internet,
man.
To get your name shouted out in a Wayne Wilson column was
something.
Something that you put up on your board or your in your trophy case
scrapbook.
Scrapbook, yeah,
for sure. Yeah, it was always fun. 64-41. Crichton rips and drives from the right baseline and lays it in, and that's a piece of what he can do.
And then sometimes I've just literally just ripped off some of the stuff that Wayne Wilson did, but in defense, Wayne Wilson was ripping it off from me. So like Wayne Wilson took it from SportsCenter. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
No doubt.
And I took that. But he took it from Dan Patrick and Keith Holton.
Sure. Everybody steals in this industry.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yep.
18-foot jumper right wing, Javon Hanna. And his game has reached the 21-point mark. He's now the high scorer in this game. There's 3 players with 20 or more points total. Barnes ahead to Javon. Showtime. Coming up.
Yeah. That was pretty.
All smiles. $1 million smile for number 4. as the Eaglets have reached 70 points this afternoon here in Calihan. Here's Steele again as we reach 2.5 minutes left in this game. Bernard. Great hustle by Kennedy, and Javon traveled from the near sideline.
I got to tell you, Todd, not to go too inside baseball in the world of journalism, but I really hope that I'm not the last of the Oakland Press prep sports guys.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I don't know how much longer that paper has, how much life it has left in it because of the ownership.
Right.
And if you just, it's only, you're a Google search away from learning about it. Alden Partners is a hedge fund from New York City that owns us. And they have quickly become either the biggest or the second biggest newspaper ownership conglomerate, and they're what they call in the business industry or in the world of business, they're called vulture capitalists.
Oh yes, venture capitalist.
Vulture.
Oh,
no, not venture. A venture capitalist is someone that invests in businesses they think they're going to do well.
Sure, Tom Gores is one.
A vulture capitalist is someone that comes in and
wants to see it collapse,
rips it apart.
Yeah, right. Right, no doubt. Well,
and tries to get, but as opposed to like a Gordon Gekko, a Wall Street, who just broke it up for the sake of breaking it up, the vulture capitalist comes in and takes it down to its most bare bones and squeezes money out of it.
Yeah,
which I actually respect. I respect that aspect of it. That they're getting blood out of a stone. Nobody's making money off of journalism except Alden.
Yeah,
except it's coming at the sacrifice of journalism.
Right. No, it's an industry that doesn't get its love and it doesn't get its profitability it should. And I know I participate with the Oakland Press. I pay them their monthly, daily fee.
I really hope that
I get a Sunday paper still delivered to my house.
I just hope
my wife's like, "What are you doing getting these newspapers? You can read them online." I said, "I know, but Oakland Press Sunday, it's like if I don't read it."
I really hope that when I leave or when my time has come to an end at the Oakland Press, that the preps section doesn't go with me.
Right on. We're pulling for that. Sherrod Barnes banks one off the glass. 1:20 left.
Because it would be a shame because, you're talking about decades and decades of coverage, way before Scott Bernstein and Chad Bush.
No doubt. That's right. It's an industry that deserves to be protected and an organization that deserves to be protected.
And the Oakland Press had always really prided itself on focusing on the high schools and giving you high school coverage the way that the other papers gave you pro and college coverage.
Yep. Anthony Bernard. I'm sorry, partner.
No, it's great. I was saying that was just unique.
Yes, it is. Thanks for sharing that. Tommy Boss has checked in for St. Mary's. Tommy Boss, of course, known as Touchdown. Tommy on the gridiron. Senior running back, linebacker. Sherrod Barnes, the freshman, checks out. This is a good-looking Mason Wisniewski, a forward. Keep an eye on him who checks in. A future big for St. Mary's. Also into the game is Jackson Wazalewski. The only other true point guard on this St. Mary's roster who wears number 30 was a two-way guy last year. Daniel Smythe, also a two-way guy, along with Andrew Smith, both out there for the Eaglets.
I've heard good things about Andrew Smith.
He's good. Got the ball here. Farmington kid. Right corner. Tommy rips it and has it ripped from him. Andrew takes it right back to Wazalewski down the boulevard. Whip pass to Wisniewski, and it's delayed with a reach-in foul. The old Wazalewski to Wisniewski. You talked about St. Mary's and their Polish heritage. There it is.
Yeah.
We could have Wazalewski to Wisniewski to Kapusa. That would be.
And then keeping it all in the
Father Joseph Dombrowski's dream.
And then
right?
keeping it all in the family. One of the great Orchard Lake St. Mary's basketball players was Eddie Okanuski, who is now the principal at Brother Rice, and brought Ricky Palmer over there to build that program back up.
That's right.
I grew up playing against Eddie O's Andover teams.
Sure. Some tough teams.
He had some running gun. And at the time, he seemed really old to me at the time.
Yeah.
But he probably was only in his late 20s.
Right. Victor Giller will check in And also another addition, Noah French into the lineup for the first time.
Also in for the Eaglets, 14 and 15.
Meanwhile, Grosse Pointe South will also make some changes. They have entered Nicholas Borrego into the lineup, along with Brady Kennedy. Cliff Grabowski, who was actually a cousin of Alex Mooney, and played baseball. Saw him earlier, and Noah Steyer also into the game for Grosse Pointe South. Cliff Grabowski. Line right, this is Tommy Boss. Great student athlete, big part of George Porrett's football success the last 4 years, and a part of a program that you love as a leader, senior. Did some great things for the Eaglets on the gridiron. Role player here. Tough to crack this lineup at St. Mary's. And 30 seconds left as Boss scratches the surface, and St. Mary's has a 72 to 46 lead. Rebound ripped down by Victor Giller, a junior. Wazalewski to the rack. Right hand lay-in, no. And he'll get the rip steal from behind, and then Grabowski picks his pocket. 10-foot turnaround jump shot, good. That's Noah Steyer. As time winds out in Detroit. 72 to 48. St. Mary's wins the finale of the 5th annual CHSL Mac Calihan Challenge. The Catholic League goes 5-0. We'll come back with all the stats and the final wrap-up here from Detroit right after this.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Oh, what a day. It started at 11:50 and it ends at 7:30. What a day. It's called a full day's work. Glad to do it on a Sunday. Grateful for the opportunity here at the 5th annual CHL Mac Calihan Challenge. Thankful to all those who have been a part of this broadcast and all those really who have watched and supported this broadcast here on the Prep through NFHS. It's all over now. 72 to 48 is your final score in this ball game. And St. Mary's gets it done by way of a big-time performance by young gun Trey McKinney. Trey had some things going on. You mix in Javon Hanna, and you get two 20-point-plus scores here.
Him and Hanna combined for over 40. Kareem Rozier, ran the show like he always does. And then they got, the Polish Pistol came out in his debut. Looked sharp. Barnes, the other freshman, looked sharp. Daniel Smythe hit a three, evoking images of his brother Will last year. So they were getting contributions all up and down that bench.
Yeah, and look, Grosse Pointe South had the early lead and made a swing. A couple haymakers early by Bernard. Did a lot of his work early. Jack Crichton here in the second half with a rip and drive, starting to show his skills, but it was Javon Hanna and Trey McKinney for the most part. A breakout here, a full team effort, unselfish effort by the Eaglets. Grosse Pointe South's going to have some fun in their conference, but This was a day that belonged to the Catholic League in the Central Division, and St. Mary's puts the cherry on top for the Vic Michaels-led Catholic League that shows out on a Sunday in the Motor City.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch Trey McKinney over these next 4 years. And you're just scratching the surface. You're just getting the hors d'oeuvres. They haven't even started to eat the real meal. That's going to come in a couple weeks.
Great time today. Thank you very much. He's Scott Bernstein. Want to thank all the folks for making this possible. Hey, listen, come on board as a sponsor. We'd love to have you. Email us, theprepsports@gmail.com. You can sponsor us via the Motor City Cruise broadcast or our full court prep high school package. We'd love to bring you on. Come on board and be a sponsor today. Our coverage continues next week. We'll reveal our final 15 games that are scheduled here in live broadcasts on the prep, full court prep. Thanks so much for watching here today. Your final score one more time: Orchard Lake St. Mary's 72, Grosse Pointe South 48. We appreciate everybody watching. We'll talk to you next week. Check us out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, The Prep 3. My name is Chad Bush. It's been a great afternoon and a pleasure and an honor to come to you from Calihan Hall in Detroit for the 5th annual CHSL MAC Calihan Challenge, a sweep for the Catholic League. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next week from Detroit. We are The Prep. So long, everybody.